Oh, yes, here we are.
Here we are.
Still getting used to this live setup, but let's see here. I just screwed something up already. Trying to get to my other window. There we go. All right. So welcome back, everybody, to Tango Talks. This is episode 17. And today we're going to talk about AI in everyday life, helpful or creepy. And we do apologize. We know we missed a couple weeks there, but we have some big plans that we're working on. We're looking to move the studio to a permanent public location and possibly rent out podcasting space. But there's a lot more that goes along with that. And we are excited to bring that to you as it happens. But we can't let it all out yet.
Yes. So it's just a little teaser.
Lots of things coming up. And we're hoping that, you stay with us and, along the way. And, we'll see what happens. It's going to be
hear all about it as we go along.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a fantastic venture. I'm so excited for it. And I actually looked up the I only reached one company, but the cost of a pole building.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Only because of the size. It was like what did I do? 100 by 50. Oh. So just because we know what 5,000 square feet looks like. So that's what we're looking for. But
yeah, that'll be good.
That's all we can tell you for now.
Yeah, for now. Stay tuned.
Yeah, I didn't really script it. it's just ideas. I know you're looking at it.
Tango, why do you always do this?
I usually have the show scripted out really nice, but we're trying to make it more on the spot. So it's more like our script is more like suggestions of what we should be talking about. But anyways, today's we're talking about AI and
yeah.
You I'm getting some nasty looks right now, like you're putting me on the spot.
No, AI. There's some good things about it, maybe some crazy things about it. I know I love AR. I do.
Really?
Yeah. I like it a lot, actually. Well, you know how much I love my Chat GPT.
Yeah. I've been going back and forth.
All kinds of things. So
I've been going back and forth the last week now between Copilot, which is Microsoft's version of it, and then Gemini, which is Google's version of it. Because, like we were I think I told you a couple of days ago, we had to switch all of our Microsoft stuff to Google because we were having a problem with OneDrive, and it just kept duplicating itself until it ran out of space. So we couldn't save any more files. And, I waited for help, and I'm not knocking Microsoft. We obviously used them for 15 years, but when you're in business, you need access to your stuff hourly.
Yeah.
You can't wait days.
Can't wait
and
forever.
I freaked out and just switched everything to Google. So I've been playing around with both. I do like, so far I like Copilot, because Copilot will I don't know, for some reason it seems to have a wider reach, and maybe there's a setting in our Google Workspace that I need to update. But every time I try to do a search with Gemini, it says it's not connected to the internet. I'm like, well, I need you to be connected to the internet because that's the questions I'm asking you.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens, and go from there.
Yeah.
All right. So before we get into it, we're going to talk about today's sponsor. This week's episode is sponsored by War Studios. It's a new venture by Angela and Wayne, showcasing local talent, podcast, community involvement, and more. Stay tuned in the coming months, like we mentioned, for more info on this highly anticipated venture, brought to you by HM Print Design, LLC. And you can start finding information on warstudios.com. That is WHAR Studios.com. So, mark that on your calendars or give yourself some kind of reminder because it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
At least I
We just
think
keep
so.
tooting our own horn. We're excited about it.
We've been excited for the last couple of weeks going through all this stuff, but yeah, it'll be fun.
It's going to be fun. AI you didn't know you use. I guess, it's funny because I think when I think about AI, I only think of my one thing, ChatGPT, because I use that so much.
Yep.
But there's a lot of things that we use that are...
Well, especially if you're using iPhones because or iPads or any of that, at least Apple stuff. Again, it's what I have. Mm-hmm. But like the
autocorrect or the...
I actually hate autocorrect.
I know, I do too. Because it always I'll send text to everybody and it's just like it never says what I want it to say.
And in fact, me and Steven got so tired of it that even when it doesn't put in what I like, if I do voice, I just send it.
Yeah.
And he can
figure it out.
He can decipher it out and figure out what the hell's going on.
A lot of times I do the same, I do the same things. I'll just send stuff to like say something to Joe and he'll be like,
what?
Wait, what? And then I'll look at it.
Hold on, let me put on my Angela hat.
This is what it says. Yeah.
Because I'm sure that's what Steven does. Like, well, let me put on Wayne's hat. Okay. All right, now it makes sense. I was like letters are left out and half of words and stuff like that.
I know.
But,
Well, it seems like it always happens when you speak it, though. So that.
Yes,
so like when you're speaking, if you're not speaking clearly, are you just like I just talk like I talk?
Right.
It's like everybody tells me my Jersey accent gets in the way, but I don't hear it. Like I don't hear it, but
I don't hear it either. But
other people do.
I had people ask me in high school, like, where are you from? I'm like, Rome, New York. And I'm like, why? It's like, we have an accent. It's like, I do? Okay.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever said that to me before, but I had a couple of people in high school say it to me. It's like, all right, well,
So that could be why our AI doesn't work so great when we're trying to use those things.
It could be. It could be.
Have like little accents or something.
But there's a lot of AI going on now. It's a huge industry, and everybody's fighting to be the number one in it. Like the like smart assistants. You guys have Alexa. We've got Alexa. Yep. It's a love-hate thing.
I know.
Well, at your house, it's just funny because it's like...
At my house, it's hate because there's no love there because it's just constant. You know what it says every 5 minutes. I mean, you were there helping us with work this weekend, and it was just nonstop. Somebody's on the porch. Somebody's on the porch. Somebody's on the porch. Yeah, we know because we're working here.
Somebody's next to your car. Somebody's next to the trailer. Somebody's at the mailbox. It's like, goodness gracious, Joe, calm it down a little bit.
So that's when, well, here you go. So like when is AI a convenience and when does it feel really invasive?
You know what? Sometimes it feels a little creepy because, and we've talked about it here on Friday nights, where, you look something up and then all of a sudden you've got all this stuff in your mailbox, or Facebook is notorious for it. You do a search on there for something and then your entire timeline is just flooded with that subject.
Yeah.
Or
just simply saying it. Like how many times, like you just said, like how many times have we just said, okay, I was thinking about buying this new paddle board.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
All of a sudden, all of a sudden, the first thing that you look at when you go on to any site is like these paddle boards from, wherever.
Because that creepy bitch is listening to everything you say, whether she responds to anything. You know what I mean? I know all the, Alexa devices have, their key phrase to activate them, but I don't know. More and more now, I'm just thinking like she's just listening all the time.
Yeah.
And it's funny because you ask her and then she goes into this whole like, non-disclosure thing, like, well, you only listen to what you say to, it's like, I don't know. The more and more.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. I think but like I always say, if somebody's getting paid $60,000 a year to sit there and listen to the shit I say to Alexa, They deserve every penny. Because especially if my brother-in-law and nephew come over, then when we were at family gatherings here, they're in the kitchen just asking all sorts of stupid questions, and they play stupid songs, and it's like, I'm gonna voice password this thing so you guys can't access it anymore, because they just stand out there for hours just asking stupid stuff or turning things on and off in the house. You know what I mean? They're like, Alexa, turn the house on. Alexa, turn the house off. And it's like, well, you guys just
knock it off.
What are you, 12?
It is fun though. I mean, it's a fun thing when you can just say something like that, like turn this on, turn that off. You don't have to actually get up or anything like that.
Well, yeah. And in situations like we have where, like right now out here in the studio, the bar, we've got, I can look around and right in my vision, I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 items that automatically come on as soon as you say party time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's nice, you know what I mean? Especially in the wintertime when you say that, because then it sets the thermostat. And then at the end of the night, when we say it's closing time, it shuts everything off, sets the thermostat to 45 and locks the door.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
when you're talking about that kind of convenience, and, it's hard to argue the usefulness of AI, because otherwise I'd have to go around and turn everything off individually. And by the time I did that, everybody would be home in bed.
Yeah. But then you can see the other side of things too, the creepy side of it. Now that you just said that.
Right.
Like, will it lock you out? Will it?
Well, that's the joke that, me and Steven say to each other all the time is, has nobody ever watched Terminator? You know what I mean?
Terminator? What about the one that was just out? We watched it. Megan?
Oh, yeah, that little creepy doll.
Yeah.
Creepy robot there. Yeah.
Creepy AI doll.
Well, that's just it. You know what I mean? I mean, who's to say that somebody can't hack, Amazon services and Alexa and, lock you out, like erase your passcodes and erase, so you can't get in your house, or who knows? You know what I mean? And
yeah.
I mean, ours is actually connected to our vehicles now too. So like I can get up in the morning and I can just say, Alexa, get Max ready.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll start the car up and get it warmed up for me and everything. And, so yeah, what if AI decided to freak out someday?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, especially like these cars, like these Tesla cars that self-drive.
Yes, they self-drive.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Hack into one of those, and all of a sudden you come out in the morning, your car's gone, and you're like, somebody stole my car.
Yeah. So like
Alexa
I said,
did.
so that's the creepy side.
Right.
That's the creepy side of it. Because at what point too, we're smart because we've put this AI intelligence in place. But at what point does AI become smarter than we are?
Well, yes, because they are working on. I'm not sure of the terminology here. I'll use a Star Trek term, positronic brain.
Yeah.
Where it's an actual. Well, and maybe we're close to that now with all this AI stuff, because it's certainly, the convenience part of it. Oh, what GPT is that you can ask one question and then build on that question.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you don't have to keep asking the same question. It knows what your thought process is, and you can just keep adding to it. In fact, I did that for tonight's show. I said, I tried it with Gemini, and Gemini wouldn't do it. But Copilot, I said, using Tango Talks as a reference, come up with some cool ideas for the next podcast. And it came up with this one, which was kind of like, stabbing itself in the foot, I guess. But maybe, but yeah, and then I said, can you put that in a PowerPoint slide? And it did.
Yeah.
And so I don't know.
Sometimes with these programs, though, you don't even have to actually ask the question. It asks you.
Yes.
So you may say, okay, in Tango Talks fashion, let's do this,
Right.
And it gives everything. And then it'll say, would you like me to do, this, and this? And then you just have to say yes or no.
Oh, see, I love that part of it. Yeah.
It keeps going.
Because it kind of knows like what the next step should be or suggestions.
Yeah.
And that's what it asked for. It came up with the ideas for tonight. And then it asked, do you want me to build a script for you? And I was like, yeah, do that. You know what I mean? And it didn't, well, as you can see, it didn't fill it. It just gave us the ideas to talk about, but it didn't fill in all of our information.
Yeah.
Which makes it more.
It's okay because, that's more us. Because we're not scripted.
We're really not.
We're totally not scripted. We didn't start this show scripted.
No.
We're not going to continue with the show scripted.
It's funny because that's the number one, I don't know if it's a complaint or comment is, especially with me, is I get so far off topic sometimes. I'm like, wait, I got to go back. Talk about something that we're not even supposed to be talking about. But where was I?
Yep.
I get on these thoughts, you know what I mean? I'm just like, but yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of uses for AI, maybe not personally, but in business, I think there's a lot that can be done and saves time. I mean, like I said, it did all this. All I did was reformat, the pages so they were more readable and put our little, who's supposed to be talking now, A or T.
Yeah.
And that's all I did. And it, I had everything there. I mean, so it does help for that, especially, like you and I, we work all day and then we come here. And sometimes, I just, I sent you earlier like this. I wasn't sure texting would take all of that.
Yeah.
It was like 9 pages of stuff on there. It was like, pick a subject.
Yeah. But, I think there's different sides of things that AI is really good for. Like in particular, and the only reason why I mentioned this is because I was in the medical field for so long, and you think about the medical side of things. There are individuals who are paralyzed, and there's AI programs to, make their wheelchairs work and enables them to talk if they're not able to speak. Yep. So there's so many different forms of AI too. It's not just something. I mean, we think of it like you just said in the business form because that's the way we use it. But away from the business side of things and in the actual, medical world, these are the things that are helping people live their normal everyday lives.
Yep. And I always every time we get the like when there's a major update to the iPhone, and I don't know if you've gotten it yet, the iOS 26.
Yeah.
But I always go through like all the settings, and just to see what's changed. And I've noticed like under accessibility, and I think it's been there for a while, but I really noticed it this time. It's like they have like you can control your phone with head movements. You can control your phone with eye movements.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So if you've got the right stuff, you can operate you could just put your phone on a mount and you can operate it, by head gestures or eye movements. But even the watch now does gestures. So like you can sit there and you flex your wrist and it'll go back or forth and select things.
Yeah, you actually like you just kind of click your fingers and without actually do whatever.
I was playing with it one night and I was like, this is kind of cool, but it's hard to remember that you can control. There's so much, I mean, it's you can't remember every little thing you can do with all this technology now,
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of, I think I'm going to agree with you. I think I love AI for the most part, but there's still a creepy factor to it.
There's a creepy side to it. Sure.
Right. Because, is somebody sitting at these data centers and like reading through information, or is it just automatically processed? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you said, with medical stuff, you certainly don't want people reading your medical information, but
no, but in that situation, like if it's a certain algorithm that's programmed into, like, say, like a wheelchair or something, because they're like totally paralyzed. So it might just be a head movement, or it might be, something like that,
right?
To be the power source. At like what point, like who did that first to begin with, and at what point will the AI part of it start to recognize?
Well, the next step is the next iPhone is just going to be a chip in your head.
Well, is that really so far fetched?
Or in your hand, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, what you just said, we were talking with the watches, like we're already clicking our fingers to try and, turn the page of a book or, whatever we're doing.
We just finished watching the new season for this show called Upload. Mm-hmm. And the whole premise is that before you die, they upload your consciousness. So you're in a virtual reality world. And their phones they just open their hand up like an L shape and their phone pops up, you know what I mean? And it's just like a transparent lens there. So
wow.
like, that's definitely, it's stuff like that cracks me up because somebody at Apple or Google or Samsung, one of these big, phone companies are watching that going, can we do something like that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we don't even know the technology that's on the horizon. So I mean, I don't know. That stuff always freaks me out. Like, what are people working on now that we don't know about?
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I mean, it's like one of those things. Like, it's kind of like your. What do you guys say at your business? If you can think it, we can ink it. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, just with saying that, if you're thinking about that, you don't think it can already be done if it's already being, or is it already being done? Or like some of the things we see on movies, if it's in the movies, it's either been done because where do you get the idea? Or somebody came up with this crazy idea and now all of a sudden the government may want to know. How did you come up with that?
Look at Star Trek, though. Star Trek has been accredited with a lot of the technology that we use nowadays.
Yep.
And excuse me, the biggest example was when they first came out with flip phones. Mm-hmm. I mean, that is a direct design from the communicators, you know what I mean? They had flip communicators back then. They're force fields. I read an article, probably 10, 12 years ago, that the military had actually created a magnetic force field for tanks. So it will explode small artillery within like 2 feet of the tank before it even hits it. Okay. So, and the, transporter technology, they've transported, molecules now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, these shows, I know we're a little bit off topic here talking about this, but
I don't think so.
Because, these shows, the imagination that goes into some of these shows, sci-fi shows especially, I think they spark creativity in inventors and designers to be like, boy, if we could have a phone that's that small, that you just flip open, it just sits in your pocket. That'd be awesome. You know what I mean? Or if we can develop, transporter technology, which my belief is they may have it, but they'll never release it ever. Yeah. Because it will just destroy commerce across the planet. Travel industry, shipping industry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think there's a lot of technology out there that is not released because of its damaging effects on, e-commerce and commerce in general. You know what I mean? Because, can you imagine if you didn't have to call UPS or FedEx or anybody, you just set your package down on a platform and type in a phone number and away it goes and it's there instantly.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then the next step from that is, replicators. So, now you don't need grocery stores. You know what I mean? Yeah. So now you don't even need crop fields because now the food is programmed into it and you can just walk up to it and say, I want, tuna casserole tonight. And there it is.
Yeah.
But a lot of it is based on, they're stretching Einstein's theory of, mass and energy are the same thing, And so I don't know how far they'll get on that, but it's just interesting. You know what I mean? People are working on it, they're working on holographic cubes and data cubes that can hold, trillions of, gig on it. And, there's just so much out there that is just crazy. Mm-hmm. I mean, I love watching the technology change, but sometimes it's hard to keep up with.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Well, we just got done talking about all this. So, helpful or creepy, AI in the healthcare. it, it may support all this, diagnostics and personalized treatments, but like we talked about, the data privacy concerns,
Yeah.
what safeguards are put in place. It's great that AI can do diagnostics for you and present you with these treatments, but every time I do a search using like Copilot or Gemini, there's always that little disclaimer on the bottom that says, it may not be correct.
Right.
So I don't know how that works in healthcare, especially with, all the HIPAA rules and laws that we have in place.
Yeah.
So that's a big concern. I don't know if I've seen AI in dating apps, so,
I don't know. You and I have both been out of the dating
for a long time. But does AI match I suppose they probably, I suppose everybody, is using it to some degree.
Yeah. Oh, I would imagine. Well, even for pictures, you could just say something like you want something and they put,
That's the craziest thing. I use that.
So make my picture look like, I'm 5'4", I'm blonde hair, blue eyes.
Yep.
It's like you say everything that you want it, and then all of a sudden, there it is.
I'm guilty of using it at work because sometimes I'm stuck for a design idea.
Yeah.
And I'll type in what I'm looking for and it'll give me some nice ideas. Sometimes I have to do it 2 or 3 times, but I'll save a couple of those screenshots and I'll drop them in Corel and then I'll develop them further. But it's great for me, ideas. I can, punch in what I'm, get those design ideas and throw them in. And then sometimes I'll take a piece from one and a piece from another, but at least it helps me get moving on that design, because sometimes I'll just sit there and say, I have no idea what I'm going to do with this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now AI and security systems. Now,
I think that's kind of like what we were just saying.
Yeah, we don't have anything that uses. Well, I shouldn't say that because our iPhones use facial recognition. So there you go, right there. I know we have our house doors have the
thumbprint.
Thumbprint scanning on it, but I don't know. It's just I'm seeing all these things on our list here of where it is right now, and I have to say, if I were to judge these items, I'd say, AI in healthcare, creepy.
Yeah, because you're thinking of it as
from the personal side.
Yeah, and you're not in that.
I'm not in that field.
Right. Or in a situation where it might be like that's what allows you to be part of everyday life.
Yes. It would be interesting. Well, you're in healthcare though.
Yeah.
And do you guys use a lot of AI?
I'm not in. I work for public health now, so it's a different side of healthcare. It's not like I'm not in the hospital anymore, but we use AI, just like you said, for, writing up certain things and, certain documents, and when we're writing grants or, something of that nature. So we're using it, but it's not the way I was just explaining in being like in the hospital,
So that's pretty much how I use it now too, is kind of like what you see on TV in the commercials right now.
Yeah.
Where, using it to summarize a bunch of data. So if there's a bunch of things that I'm trying to coordinate, it can, because one thing I hate reading.
Yeah.
But it's useful for that because it can read through a bunch of documents and then summarize it all together.
Yeah.
I have one app on my phone actually that is an AI assistant, and you can give it a list of documents or resources like websites and stuff like that to use for information.
Yeah.
And when customers call, if I don't get to the phone in time, it will answer and it asks for their name and their phone number. But then it'll ask, what the reason of the call, and it will try to answer that based on, like, if somebody says, well, I'm just looking for prices on business cards, it will pull that information off the website and then proceed with, are you looking for 1,000 or 500, and then give them the price.
Yeah.
So for that kind of stuff, I love it. It saves me so much phone time in a day because I get so many. I haven't had a spam phone call in probably months because when the AI answers, then it just sits there and it's like, hello. Well, I think we've been disconnected. And then it just hangs up because if there's no response, it's done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Gotcha. So to me, that's just one AI calling another AI.
Yeah. I mean? Yeah.
But, it's a hard thing to say whether you're against it or not. Again, going down this list. So in healthcare, I would say creepy. But again, I'm not in that field, and I don't know what the protections are on it. In dating apps, I don't know because, like you said, we've been out of the dating loop for a little while now. But I don't know. It's probably helpful in that, but I still feel it, it could be a little creepy. I don't know what information's there.
Again, I think you're just looking for it to write because what's the dating app do? It's like it's literally your resume. True. So you're literally posting a resume online for all potential, hookups. Yeah. To come your way. Right. So you're trying to make yourself look good, right. So you put in a couple of keywords, it writes this fantastic thing. It puts a picture up there maybe for you. Maybe it doesn't look anything like you, but you might do something, fun.
That's the one thing I haven't tried though, is that there's a couple of apps out there that you can, well, I guess any one of the AI systems now, I guess you can upload a photograph and you can ask it to make you look like professional, and it'll put you in like a suit and make you look. I haven't tried that yet. It's like, so I got to give that a try, see if it really works.
I'll have to show you some of the ones that I have, like some of the filters that are on, like
make me look like a sex goddess.
Yeah, like you have to see, like
she's
one of my friends actually did that for me. She has a picture. I think it was like 1970s and 1960s. Make me look. So she just snapped my picture, and it made me look like. It made me look, I was like, holy cow, that's crazy. So you could put your own picture in there and, you might have like a total acne face, but it'll take that out and make you look like a goddess. I was like, what I'll have to try
it. I did use it just the other day because I was thinking of doing like an icon type thing. Yeah. So I uploaded a photo and I said, I want a cartoon version of this photo, and it did it. And I was shocked because it captured the background and everything.
Did it?
And I was like, this is just crazy.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot of things, that you can really just kind of, be creeped out about when it comes to AI like that.
Yeah, I think the creepiest thing is, like you said earlier, it's like, we could be sitting here in the bar on a Friday night and talk about something. Yeah. And then all of a sudden we all go to our phones and it's like, okay, I had no interest in paddles. Why is there paddles on my... Yeah. So I think the phone and Alexa are just listening all the time. And
definitely.
Just, I know there's ways you can turn all that off, but one, I haven't got time to go through all those settings. But again, like I said, if somebody's getting paid to listen to all that nonsense, God bless you.
Well, sometimes I'm just not, I feel like I'm not even smart enough to use some of those things. So, like I just don't, I know some things, but a lot of stuff. I mean, how many times do I ask you? I'm like, Wayne, how do I do this? Or what, what do I go, where do I go from here? Because I have no idea I just don't know. Like I'm not very tech savvy when it comes to certain things, like for me to just tell something to do something, that's a different story. Because I'm really good at spouting off orders.
I never noticed, Angela. Nothing stays on her mind, especially if she gets irritated. No, I agree with you. It does. It's certainly, I wish I could I wish I had the time to integrate it more at work, because it does. It's like to be able to just sit there. Like I wear a headset at work because I get phone calls all day long, and sometimes in the middle of something, I can't stop. But it would, it would be interesting to see how I could integrate that into the sign shop and see, are there ways that I can just, like I played around talking to the computer years ago back, and Microsoft had Office, I don't know, 2006 or something. You know what I mean? And back when they used to have just the dictation on there and the speech thing that would come up, the little speech bar that come up at the top there.
You just tell it.
And
whatever.
You could tell it to like open the calculator, and it would do it. But that was the extent of, it could just open. It couldn't really produce documents and stuff like that. And I was shocked today that it, like I said, I was just testing it, and I wasn't sure that it could take the text and convert it into a slide presentation. Yeah. So when it did it, I was like, you got to be freaking kidding me. You know what I mean? And all I had to do is just throw in the graphics for it.
Yeah, but look at it. It's great.
And I actually find this easier than PowerPoint. This is Google Slides. Yeah. Because I could add, like I added our logo to it, and I right click it, and I could apply it to all the pages. So I didn't have to like copy paste. Yeah. So it just did it. So yeah, that was cool. Very cool, because it saved me hours. We would never show tonight. Let's put it that way. Yeah. You know what I mean? By the time I get done working, sometimes I try to, put together stuff during the day. You try to put things, we communicate through the day. It's like, what do we want to talk about tonight? We try to gather some information. But sometimes it's like, I'm reaching out to you at like 3:00. It's like, what are we talking about tonight?
What do we talk about? We always have a subject because, that's just how we are. I mean, we always have something to talk about, and, we share all those great things with our listeners.
All right. Let's see here. On to our next thing here, which is our self-promotion.
Yeah. So don't forget, we need your help. Show us your love by following and or subscribing to our podcast. It not only makes...
Typo.
Oh, my gosh. It not only makes us feel all warm and fuzzy inside, but opens new opportunities by showing that people love our show. So go now to tangotalk.live or favorite podcast app and click that subscribe button. We're free, we're funny, and we'll love you for it.
Big time. Big time love you.
Yes.
And don't forget also, you can really help us. We're looking to make this show as full-time thing as possible. Yeah. And we need your help to do that. And if you could go to patreon.com/Tango Talks 66 and just be a sponsor, we would love you big time. And there's all sorts of freebies for each level. So again, just show us some love and we'll show you some love.
That's right.
Now we're going to do Capone's take on all this. How do you think Capone would react to AI gadgets? Do they make any kind of AI dog things?
Yeah, you bought him that ball.
Oh, I forgot about that. Does he still have it?
Yes, he still has it. And he forgets he has it, but he finds it sometimes and he will,
cracks me up.
Yeah. He's like, I think this is supposed to do something because that ball jumps, it talks, it says something, right? Like, doesn't it?
Yes.
It like buzzes or does something or doorbell or something like that. So he likes those things. So Muggs is new with things too. So I don't know.
I'm sorry, but he's a little asshole sometimes. And I'm only saying that, people, because I went down there the other day to help put a ceiling up, and Muggs was jumping all over poor little Capone. And I kept pushing him. I was like, you be nice to your big brother.
Yeah. He could be fresh, and he's such a puppy still. But I don't know. He might be scared of like AI stuff. But Capone is very
well, Well, he's used to the Alexa going off every 6 seconds.
And he'll go to the window, like if it says somebody's in the driveway or whatever. Capone gets up and he goes to the driveway.
Hysterical.
So like he knows, And if you beep or something and then the thing goes off and says, somebody went by the house. He's like, that's my Uncle Wayne. I know it. And he goes running to look. So
I wish I had a way to tag into your Alexa so that when I was leaving the house, I was like, I'm coming by, Capone.
He'll listen. He knows what that means. He has to watch you. So, yeah, but I think he would have a good thought process on that. Capone would. Capone's a thinker.
He really is.
He's the type of dog who would be like, okay, I know what this could do. It might actually even put food in my bowl. I can maybe have some treats.
Get one of those mats. You ever see those mats where the dogs press buttons like, I'm hungry.
Yes. I want to get those. Those are like little.
That would be hysterical.
I know. Outside.
I was watching one on Facebook, and I'm assuming you can program those buttons to do different things. Because the one was the dog asked for food, and the girl said no, and then hit another button and said, you bitch.
I can only imagine what Capone would say to me.
I was like, that's hysterical. But why would you put that in there? So, yeah, I agree with you. I think Capone would get it. Muggsy would be like, well, why is that box talking to me?
Yeah. Yeah. And Muggs is very skittish, where Capone's not afraid of much. He's really not. He'll go right up on something and doesn't even think twice about it. I
like when I drive by in the morning, you guys, and you're out there walking him, and he's just sitting in the driveway, and I stop and like, hi, buddy.
He's like, but that's my Uncle Wayne. So I think he would be very receptive because he already is in one, in one way.
Right. And he's used to the technology.
He's used to the technology.
Yeah. Muggsy might catch up at some point when he gets old.
Well, he's only 7 months old, so we got to give him some time. Okay, so if our listeners want to share a personal AI experience ranging from helpful moments to amusing failures, enriching the conversation, call us at 315-801-9655.
And I don't think we have anybody live on right now. Let's see here. I got to switch
the gears.
I can't switch. It doesn't let me switch. Oh, there it goes.
That's it last time, right? To tell us that there was somebody there.
Well, why does it say start now? Because I hope we've been recording. Okay, you saw me hit start now, right?
Oh, no. Have we not been...
You got to be kidding me. What the?
What was that Joe sent you? Did he send you something? I thought he said something. No. Maybe not. I just thought. So did it not record?
I hit the start now. I know the screen came up. There's no other window open, so... Oh, no.
Yeah,
it's
there
gone.
we are.
Oh, my goodness. I can't take it anymore.
I almost had a coronary. I literally
almost did, too. I was like, tell me we did it again.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry about that, people.
People are seeing our true colors with live.
Yeah, this live stuff isn't
podcast.
We went to the podcast page and it said start now. And I was like, what? I know I started it. I know I did. All right, we're good. Sorry about that.
We have a couple of people that are there.
Yeah, we've got a couple of people here. A shout out to Joe Pavey and Lou Rock. Thank you for being live on the show. We appreciate it.
And does anybody have anything to share with us? Does anybody want to give us a little shout? Crickets.
Yeah, I'm going to say no.
I think they just like to listen to us. They rather just hear us.
Oh, hey, there's lots of things I like to just listen to. It works.
And my voice is not one of them, right? Notice, no comment.
Let me get back to I'm being slammed right now. Okay, let's see here. We're here. Oh, apparently it does not want to work. I can't get back to it. All right. Well, we've been online for 45 minutes. I guess that's close enough. Yeah.
Wrap it up.
So again, what's your overall take on AI in everyday life?
For the most part, I believe it's good.
I'm going to agree with you. I think it's good for the most part. There are some creepy things. Number one being, you're having a discussion and then you go look at your phone later on and then that discussion's there.
Yeah.
You're like, wait a minute here.
Yeah.
I know I didn't share this with anybody, so I guess that's it for tonight. We do appreciate everybody tuning in and listening, and we're going to I think I was going to try to do a poll like on the website.
Okay.
So do a poll to see what people think. Do they think AI is creepy or useful?
Yeah, let us know. Send us a message, or they can do that on Tango Talk Live, right?
Correct.
And
Yep.
then if you want to call in and leave a message,
you can do so at
315-801-9655.
And I guess that's it for today. Next week. Oh, hold on. I really got to get to my, I won't let me get to it. Is that it? No, it's not it. Where are you?
What are we talking about next week? Is that what
next week I had a subject for next week, and I believe it's poop. Sorry, people.
Here it is.
I can't get back to my screen. I think it was going to be local legends. Yes.
Local legends.
Yep. So next week we're going to talk about local legends and urban myths of Central New York, and we have quite the list of them.
That we do.
Seeing how we'll be coming into the month of October, my favorite month, not so much Angela's.
Yes, it is.
Is it? Okay.
Yes, it is.
I wasn't sure because of all the work you have to do.
No, I like it. Believe it or not, I love that time of year, and I get to spend some time with my husband without us bickering. It's pretty fun.
All right, people. We'll see you next time on Tango Talks, and we appreciate you. Till next time, Skull.